Welcome to the 5-Star Life Show, your home for content related to education, parenting, and changing wrong mindsets so you can live a 5-star life. I'm your host, Coach Seth. Let's do this. Welcome back to the 5-Star Life Show. I'm your host, Coach Seth, and I am joined in studio not with my incredible co-host, Coach Mia, but with our Director of Basketball Operations, Coach Brae. Welcome to 5-Star Life. Hey, thank you for having me. I always love being on the radio show with you guys. So, you know what? I love having you on because you got the amazing radio voice. I'm not going to lie. I'm always jealous. He starts talking like that deep radio voice is impressive. So we have you on all the time just to hear you talk. Yeah. It just put you to sleep, right? Hey, so if you just tuned into the show, I really want to encourage you, if you're not driving, if you're in front of your smartphone or computer, go to 5starlife.org to learn more, to get involved. We are on a mission to change culture. It's just amazing what's happening in society. The number of kids that are underperforming in school, dropping out of school, getting addicted to drugs, getting into trouble, getting into the system, into juvenile detention. It's amazing how there's so many people that we are surrounded with daily. We walk by people who are going through hell, who are struggling. There are these people that are invisible. They're voiceless, they're faceless. But I have had the privilege of being in contact with so many incredible people that are just in a tough spot. And we're on a mission. We know research says that if you want to change a culture, you want to change it starts with one person. You start with a person, you want to impact them, you got to get to their core operating system, their mindset. And when you're in a bad place, you're stuck. You just need sometimes a nudge, some help, some support, some tools to help you get a vision for your life to start moving forward. You need somebody to latch onto you. That's what 5-Star Life has been doing for the last 18 years, and you can learn more at 5starlife.org. Super excited about today's show because we're going to dive into practically how we can do that through one of the big hooks in youth culture, and that's sports. So Brae, we have summer programming upon us. If people are listening, walk us through some of the ways that people can get their kids involved. And I will say this to parents, competence creates confidence. So one of the things that we encourage parents and kids to do is you got to say yes to these opportunities to get your kids involved in things. Don't just let them sit around on their phone, on Netflix, because it's entertaining and it's easy as a parent. Get them involved in things. Force them if you have to participate in things. So, Brae, talk to us about summer opportunities for those who actually like the game of basketball. We have a ton of stuff going on this summer. We recently launched all of our summer programming, which includes everything from open gym time to every camp or clinic you can imagine with a basketball in your hand. So, first things first, we have a membership program of which we are really excited about and really trying to push. We want to be the home that kids go in the summer to develop their basketball game, to be in the gym to play 5-on-5, to be in the gym to play 2-on-2, whatever it is, right? Just open gym time. I think that's a lost part of skill development, if you will. Big time. Yeah. I mean, I feel like when I was growing up, and this was even 10 years ago, I'm getting old already, but it was like we were always playing somewhere, someone's driveway, someone's gym. Any chance we could, we were getting into a gym. And now I feel like you got to kind of get kids to the gym, which is bizarre. So we just want to be the home that provides open gym time. That's included in our membership. We have 2 different levels of membership. Each of them include access to every hour that we have open gym. We have 2 hours a day scheduled through the week.
One of our membership levels also offers the opportunity to rent our Dr. Dish shooting machine for 4 hours a month. So you can come in for an hour a week, 4 hours 1 week, whatever you want to do, and get 750 shots up in an hour on our Dr. Dish shooting machine. So it's just another way to keep kids in the gym, keep them active. We also have several other programs. We have small group workouts coming up starting next week, which would be this coming week when you hear this. That's 2nd through 5th graders. We've got a small group. We have 3 sessions of those going throughout the whole summer. So it's pretty much one a month until school's back in. We have a summer skills camp, which I'm very excited about. It's the first one we've done. It's a combination of basketball activities for 2 days and then a leadership day at Summit. So that's
amazing.
That's going to be
basketball
awesome.
Plus, I don't know what we're going to be doing that day at Summit, but maybe some equine, maybe some archery, maybe the ropes course.
Yes, we will definitely do the ropes course. We had our leadership day this year for our basketball program at Summit, where we took all 160 of our basketball players, boys and girls, up to Summit, which was an unbelievable day. And we saw that and we're like, why? Let's offer this to more kids other than just our AAU kids, right? And our travel team kids, or if they're not in a 5-star program through their school or whatever it is. So we said, well, let's spend 4 hours in the gym on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we'll cap off our camp with a full leadership day at Summit, which again will include our high ropes adventure course. We'll do some archery, hatchet throwing activities, boating challenges, fishing, you name it. We're going to put a full day rotation. That's only limited to the first 30 kids. Because we can only effectively use the high ropes course for about 30 kids. So we're trying to make it somewhat not exclusive, but give everyone that's going to be there a really, really good day. And that's for 6th through 8th graders. So whatever grade they're going into next year. So really excited about that. And then Coach Harden, one of the best individual skill developers in our area, without a doubt, probably the state, honestly, maybe the Midwest. He's phenomenal. He's running a ball handling camp in July, so that's Monday nights in July. And then I'm running a finishing school. I've always wanted to do something like this where we're going to work on enhancing everyone's moves around the rim. One of the lost arts, I think, of the game today is being able to finish around the rim and be consistent. Whether you drive to the basket, whether it's a cut to the basket, whatever it is. So we're going to go through and just rep hard through a finishing school, just stuff around the rim, and let's just get really, really good at that. So that's a ton of stuff. We have a lot of opportunities for kids to be in the gym, stay in the gym, and we're excited about that. So.
That's a lot. Holy cow, you just rattled through a lot of opportunities for people who like basketball, your kids or grandkids or neighbor kids like basketball.
Yep.
And rather than them just hanging out, not getting better, not really moving in a good direction, one of the things that, one of the reasons we started 5-star basketball was because there's a lot of kids who have athletic ability or talent, but they'll spend 3 hours just shooting around and they're not really getting better. It's great to go to the park and play. I mean, you can learn a lot from that, but there's some important foundations they've got to get that again, Brae and Tone are offering and our trainers are offering. We just have a couple minutes here, Brae. Talk a little bit about 5-star basketball, why we do this, and maybe take it this direction. I was with you a few weeks ago at a tournament, and it was so cool. I got to witness one of your players come to you and say, "Coach, that's my first one." You're like, "First one, what?" It's like, "That's my first college coach interaction, first coach that is interested."
Yep. Yeah, that was really cool. Part of what we're doing on the travel basketball side is trying to get kids in front of college coaches to give them opportunities to play the game at the next level. And that was the first time that happened. Like we were both together when a player was just like, he was in his moment or had his moment, and he was just kind of like very vulnerable with us there, and was just like, that was the first time I've ever talked to a college coach. And it was just, I mean, it's a kid that's worked really hard, that has bought into what we're trying to do, and for him to see that, start to see the payoff of that was awesome. And that's just a bonus of what we do in terms of we're getting kids better, we're developing, and then we're putting them in front of coaches. And seeing kids play at the next level is a lot of fun. And my aunt texted me today and she said, do you still love what you do? And I said, of course I love what I do. Like, there's no question. And she said, I don't want you to undervalue, the impact that you're having on those kids. And, I don't really sit here and think like, oh, I'm doing all this and that, but she's like, I was like, yeah, I think we're doing a pretty good job, and she said, well, just look at the kids you put at the next level. I mean, we're pushing 20 plus kids that are going to play college basketball just from our first real go at 5-star basketball. So it's fun. It's fun.
I love it. All right. So if you want more information about 5-star basketball, Brae, where can they find you?
5starbasketball.org.
Really simple, 5starlifebasketball.org. Also, as we break for the next segment, I want to encourage you to share this show with a friend. If you're listening on 95.3 MNC, you can actually find anywhere podcast platforms are listened to. You can find 5-Star Life with Coach Seth at all those places. We want your feedback. We want reviews. We want you to engage with us. Thank you so much. We'll be right back after this.
Did you know that you can bring the values, lessons, and mindsets Coach Seth discusses on the 5-Star Life podcast to your local community? Schools are searching for programs and content that work. Just a simple introduction to your teacher or principal could be a game changer in your community. Inquire at 5starlife.org and someone from our team will be in touch.
Welcome back to the 5-Star Life Show. I'm your host, Coach Seth, and I'm joined in studio with the Director of 5-Star Life Basketball Operations, Coach Brae Beadles. Welcome back.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Hey, you closed last segment talking about sharing the show and with a friend. I want to throw something out there. If you have a grandparent, a son, whatever it is, a friend, and you share the show with somebody, email me, Coach Brae, BRAE at 5starlife.org. And I will happily supply your son or grandson or daughter, whatever it is, with 1 free month of our membership to kick you off.
Oh, thank you for that.
So, hey.
Little incentive
to share the show.
Share the show and then email you directly?
Yep. Email me, call me, whatever. My information's on the website. Get a hold of me, and I'll tell me you shared the show with somebody, and we'll Coach Brae at 5starlife.org, and we'll get you taken care of for a month.
Thank you. Love the incentive.
Yeah.
Do that now. So just, Brae, we have so much going on with 5-Star Life as the organization, but with basketball, you have a busy June and July coming up. You're getting ready to host June is the month where high school basketball takes over.
Yep.
Like local schools have their high school programs running, doing camps and clinics and whatever.
Yep.
But we host a 5-Star Life tournament.
We do. We host an annual we call it the 5-Star High School Classic. We host it at our facility at Eastlake Athletic Club. Our goal, our thought when we put this together originally a couple years ago, was to provide an opportunity for local schools to play in a competitive event that doesn't cost them anything. Because we had noticed a trend, like high schools teams were going away from paying to go play in a tournament or paying to go play in a shootout. Now they still do some of that, but they've been spending more time just hosting their own, little shootouts at their schools or whatever it is. And we were like, why? Well, let's provide the opportunity for them to come and play for free. So we do that though through a sponsorship. We're still looking for 1 or maybe 2 sponsors to help us make that happen again this year. So if you're interested in helping, that would be fantastic. But the whole goal behind it, again, is to just get kids in the gym, see more about our program, plus, give their school and their players an opportunity to not have to pay to go play in a decent event. So that's our goal with it.
Very cool. And then July gets busy.
Yes. July, we have a crazy busy July coming up. Our girls are going to play in the biggest girls basketball tournament in the country. That first week in July, they're in Louisville, Kentucky, July 6th through 8th. There are literally 1,000 girls basketball teams at the event. They're literally,
that is so many teams.
There's 80, 84 or 86 85 courts.
There's between 8,000 and 11,000 girl basketball players
just playing basketball there that week. Yeah.
Holy cow.
And I'm telling you, you walk into this building and it's in the Louisville Exposition Center. So it's their old convention center. So it's just a massive, and you walk in the gym and it's literally basketball courts as far as you can see. And it's 85 of them under one roof. It's an unbelievable event. Some of the highest level teams in the country are there, EYBL teams, Adidas teams, you name it, Under Armour, whatever it is. And it's an awesome event. It's a great experience for our players. So really looking forward to seeing how we do down there, playing against literally the best teams in the country. Last year there was a team from Australia, so literally you're going to play from teams from all over the world. So awesome opportunity. Then they play 2 more weekends in July, and then the boys kick off our highest level Adidas Gauntlet teams. We kick off our July schedule in Charlotte. And we're really looking forward to that event. It's a 4-day tournament. It's it's the finals of the Adidas of their circuit, and we're looking forward to seeing how deep of a run we can make in that. And we've played some very good teams in the spring through Adidas, and it's been a lot of fun. We've played in front of I think every Big 12 school. So Oklahoma, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, we've played in front of every one of those schools, I believe. I was going through that yesterday to see who was on our baseline for one of our games. But it's a great experience. So
incredible experience.
Yeah.
Very cool. So, again, if you're a parent, grandparent, community member, you want to get involved with 5 Star Life basketball, you're a sports enthusiast, you understand the power of team, of sport, of work ethic, all the values that just naturally come into play with sports, and you want to get involved either voluntarily, you want to coach, or you want to get involved financially. You want to sponsor kids that maybe can't afford to play. We have a scholarship account. We're always looking to build that up. Like, we have a ton of kids that are scholarshiped. That's why they're able to do what they do with us. So there's so many opportunities for you to get involved. We encourage you to do that at 5starlife.org and the 5 Star Life basketball website as well.
Yep.
So we're going to shift gears a little bit and dive into just start the conversation. We're in our studio, and we just got done filming a curriculum lesson where we broke down. I have so many kids, Brae, that when I go visit schools or detention centers, one of the common themes over the last few months has been, Coach Seth, can you teach a series on motivation? Like, what for? Like, because I have no motivation, Coach Seth. Like, I'm just not motivated to do the things I should be doing. I've got motivation to do things I shouldn't be doing. Like Netflix, I'm motivated to do that. Social media, I'm motivated to do that. But the things that really matter, I just can't get going for more than a day or two. And so we started this series talking about motivation. And our whole theme this year, Brae, is breakthrough, which is really just all about breaking through, going from one place to a new level, so that you can achieve something that you really want to. There's so many people in the world right now that have given up on the idea that I can break through and actually do something with my life. It's the dream of owning a business. It's the dream that you're going to connect with your kids, that you're going to have a family that really gets along and that loves being together. It's health dreams, it's financial dreams. And we just lose sight of these things. We think, I'm never going to break through. And therefore, we aren't motivated. We don't move. We get stuck. And this whole series, we start out by just saying, if you want to be motivated, it starts out with vision. You've got to get a hold, regrip that vision you had when you were younger. And if you've never had a vision because you weren't surrounded with people that talked about having a vision, having goals, now's a great time to start.
Why do you think, short of having a vision, why do you think kids aren't motivated or people aren't motivated? Is it just convenience? The convenience of, here's Netflix and here's the potato chips in my pantry, as opposed to making something, or what is it?
So, kids are being painted a vision. They're being spoon-fed a vision for your life. And it's called technology. It's called Netflix. It's called their phone. It's called video games. And so at every turn, there's technology that is designed by people with PhDs in psychology to trigger that dopamine hit so that they want to once again come back to the game, the show, the social media channel. So what's happened is motivation has been replaced by addiction. Our kids aren't motivated because they're addicted. They don't know how to be motivated because they're so addicted to screens, and the screen is giving them their vision. Television means tell a vision. It's giving you a vision of what you should be excited about, of how you should live, how you should walk, how you should talk. And so what we're teaching kids is you got to put down the phone, put down the screen time, and you got to put that stuff away so your brain can heal, and so you can tap into the creative part of your imagination. See, the key to your vision is tapping into your imagination. We no longer have downtime where we can look at the sky, look at the birds, just take a walk where we're not doing something with our mind, where there's free space, where creativity, where imagination. And so we tell kids the first lesson, create a thinking chair, a spot to go to think. Now, we're out of time for this segment. We'll pick up right back where we left off. Go to 5starlife.org during the break.
5 Star Life is a not-for-profit organization dedicated to changing the face of culture by changing kids' mindsets. Since 2005, we've impacted hundreds of thousands of lives thanks to the generous support of individuals, small businesses, corporations, and foundations. Are you interested in helping 5 Star Life grow into all 50 states? With your donation or introduction, you can help bring 5 Star Life to your community, school, and state. Go to 5starlife.org and send us an email today. That's FIVESTARLIFE.org.
Welcome back to the 5 Star Life Show. I'm your host, Coach Seth, and I'm joined in studio with our Director of Basketball Operations, the one and only Brae Beadles. Welcome back.
Thank you. Hey, I'm really into the you were talking about vision and whatnot with kids, and I'm submersed into what you were saying. So I'm really looking forward to hearing what other research you guys, 5 Star, has done in terms of where this lesson's going to go.
Yeah. So there's, it starts with, again, if you came in late and you want to catch the rest of the show, you can now find 5 Star Life, this 5 Star Life show anywhere that podcasts are listened to. So whether it's Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you are, we're there, and we really encourage you to go. You can look at the episodes in order. You can go back in the archives. Encourage you to do that. And Coach Brae threw a little incentive. If anybody actually shares this show with a friend, just email him, Coach Brae at 5 Star Life, and he will give your son, daughter, grandchild, whoever, a free 1-month membership to our 5 Star basketball membership program, which is a big deal.
Yeah. Share it. Hey, we want your reviews too. We want feedback on what we can do to improve, what topics you want us to cover. But so we're talking about vision. That's the key. That motivation is birthed from vision. When you have a vision for something and you've tapped into your imagination, listen, folks out there, we tell kids this, but it's for adults too. When kids are small, they have big imaginations. I mean, it's so natural to use their imagination. I mean, a kid picks up a stick and that thing is a sword, a gun, a knife. It's a telescope. It's one of those wands that the musicians use. I mean, it's anything. Yep.
And they're in their imaginary land, just living it up, excited about life. But what happens is the older they get, they learn that imagination is kind of childish. Often because we as adults put a tamp on it, like, whoa, what did you say you're going to do?
Yeah.
Because what? Because some of us, maybe we've failed, maybe things haven't worked out, and so we've allowed our own imagination, our own creativity to be killed because of our own failure. And failure is painful, but failure is, I love what Kobe Bryant, he said it so well, so powerful. He said, I never fail. I never lose. I either win or I learn. That right there is worth writing down and teaching, making that a mantra in your home if you have kids or grandkids.
Well, that's coming from one of the most competitive human beings to ever walk the earth, too. So it's like win or lose, like it's his job, win or lose. But no, he wins or learns.
That's right.
So it's even more powerful when you think of it that way.
And there's these moments, I mean, if you go back in the archives and if you're a Kobe savant, as I've studied his life a little bit, because people that are successful, they mesmerize me, and I want some of their love, some of their gifts to rub off on me. It's the beautiful thing. So I was mentored by Kobe Bryant.
You're motivated by him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So literally, this is, and I didn't learn this in order, but he talks about I either win or I learn. And it makes sense because there's times where I'd watch him miss a game-winning shot in the playoffs, and then just walk off like you just at contemplative state. He was thinking like, okay, I'm gonna do that different next time.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was interviewed before the next game, and he's like, I know what I'm gonna do different. It was all he learned.
Yep.
He practiced that. What we do oftentimes, if we're not intentional, is we fail and we think we're failures. I'm a loser. I ain't taking the next shot. I'm not worthy of it. I'm a loser. No, you learn, and you teach your kids this philosophy of learning. Anyways, vision is what creates motivation. But the key is this: you have to believe it. You have to truly believe it's possible. If it's just a make-believe fairy tale, you are not going to be motivated to move towards something you don't believe is possible. So when you take a vision that's vast and big, but then when you get your emotions wrapped up into it, and you feel it, you can see it, you can almost taste it, you can smell it happening, that belief is born. And when imagination and belief come together with vision, motivation gets really strong.
Yep.
You can't help but move toward it.
I think a lot of that too is the environment that you're in. And like you talk about, like you make a point to learn and study and research successful people, right? And I think a lot of kids now, like I have 3 really young kids, and it's and we grew up in the era of like vlogging and like video games were like really taken, which is like, I remember when I was in college, I used to watch people vlog. I was like, one day I realized like, why am I like, it's not it's reality because that person has made it to the point where they're making money and you're watching their videos and watching their day. Right. But it's a reality to the normal person. It's not reality, I guess is what I'm trying to say, right? So it's like, it's a weird, like, well, that's what I could be doing, driving a Tesla, vlogging every single day, but I'm not, And it's like people get stuck there and they think like that's success. It's like, no, that's just success for that person. And, it's just weird, Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, it's literally... they are making money off of us watching their success.
Yes.
That's all it is.
Yes.
It's so interesting.
Well, and kids don't understand maybe what was the journey for that person to get there. It was probably thousands of hours of nobody watching anything. And they just kept going. They just said, I'm going to keep pursuing and keep going. But you're seeing the fruits of it when you're watching the YouTube video and he's driving his Tesla, right?
It looks easy.
Yeah.
Everybody's an overnight success except for the person who is the overnight success. When you talk to them, they will tell you this was not an overnight success.
Right.
This was a grind.
Correct.
One person, I just read an article in Forbes, and he's a CEO, millionaire of this fashion design brand that started in Canada. It's growing across America. But he said, I was a 30-year overnight success.
Yep.
And that's usually what they say.
Yep.
So you have vision, you have belief. Then you've got to set goals. Laying out goals is your traction, your action steps to actually make it a reality. You can have vision, belief, and goals, but if you don't take action, if you don't get off the couch, put down the phone, and take action, you're not going to get there. And so we say action, and then repetitive action, daily action towards those goals create a habit of motivation. Now, all of a sudden, you get to that step, you have a habit of being successful.
Yep.
And now it's just a matter of time before you actually achieve that success. And so in the lesson we filmed today, which I'm just going to touch on before we go to break, is we said, listen, you can have a vision, you can have belief, you can have goals, you can take action, you can even have good habits. But it is the people that you surround yourself with that determines a large portion of your success or failure. And there's a lot of people out there saying, well, hold on, Coach Seth. I thought you said that, personal responsibility is where things rise or fall. That's true, but the people you surround yourselves with, according to research, there's a guy named David McClelland who was a Harvard professor, and he was one of the early pioneers in studying motivation. He said that 95% of a person's success or failure is determined by the people they choose to surround themselves with. That's something.
I believe it.
So in this lesson, we unpack what does that look like, and how can we really start to latch onto this idea of taking personal responsibility. It's one of our 5-star life values, taking ownership for the people that we surround ourselves with, because they're going to have a lot to say about the influence we have, the impact we have in the world. So, thoughts on that?
No, I think there's so much wisdom in that, and this is what I think everyone needs to understand, and this is why I fell in love with 5-star and what we do, is like, who's really teaching kids this? And it's like, we are. And there's so much value in, even if they take 1% of what you just said, how much better off that they're going to be than if they had just stayed at home and didn't participate in a program or something along those lines. So it's powerful. It's exciting. It's powerful stuff.
Again, go to 5starlife.org to learn more, to get involved, to volunteer, to donate. Also, everywhere podcasts are listened to, you can listen to our show.
5-Star Life offers year-round programs for kids at our 350-acre training facility that we call Summit. These programs focus on 3 core components. First, each program includes lessons from our curriculum that targets kids' mindset. Secondly, each program teaches a skill like equine, archery, blacksmithing, basketball, fishing, boating, and many more. Thirdly, our programs connect kids to mentors we call coaches, who are trained to help kids live a 5-star life. Go to 5starlife.org to learn more or sign up your kids.
Welcome back to the 5-Star Life Show. I'm your host, Coach Seth, and I'm joined in studio with our Director of 5-Star Life Basketball Operations, Coach Brae Beadles. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
And if you just tuned in, make sure you go to our website, 5starlife.org, to learn more, to donate, to get involved, to bring 5-Star Life to your school community near you. The other thing I'm going to ask you to do is listen. You can listen to the show anywhere podcasts are listened to, every single platform you can imagine. We're on it. You can archive the different programs. You can go back if you like something. You can share it with a friend. We encourage you to do that now. Actually, Brae threw out an incentive that if you will share this with someone, to email him personally, Coach Brae at 5starlife.org, and he will give your son, daughter, grandchild, neighbor, whatever, a free 1-month subscription to our gym membership, our 5-star basketball membership. Great program. Thank you for that, Brae.
Absolutely. Share it away. Share it.
Hey, at the break, you were about to say something. I said, let's just start recording.
Well, through our conversation today, a lot of the ownership is such a big part of what the conversation that we're having, and I think very few people will take like the time to think. Like when someone calls me out on something, like I try my best to not be like, well, that's bull crap. I try to say, okay, well, wait, what have I done to either have them say something like that, or what can my argument be? And sometimes it's like, like I have no habits of a healthy person. Like that's just like if Seth, you walked up to me right now and said, Brae, you need to lose about 40 pounds. I'd be like, probably 50, to be honest. And but I don't do anything I don't have a single habit that translates to my goal of being in shape. Right. And we've said this a couple times. Last time I was on the show, are the habits you have today on par with the dreams you have for tomorrow? Right. Well, I want to be in good shape, but I don't have a single habit. I watched Survivor with my wife last night on the couch and ate cookie dough. Like, is that a habit
Cookie dough is dangerous, man.
Is that a habit of a healthy person that wants to be fit? So like just being able to be honest and have that realization and take ownership of that, I think is a big part of people's journey through, being motivated, trying to find what can I be successful in, and then surrounding yourself. And that's one thing too. Like when I joined 5 Star, within the first 4 months, I lost 20 pounds. And it's because everyone ate better here. Everyone drank way more water than I was used to drinking. And I was just like, okay, I'm going to start doing those things. Right. And, I have moments now where I go off the ledge a little bit, but I've generally tried to make just better decisions diet wise. And that's just been a habit of being around people at 5 Star that take it seriously, So
that's an incredible segue, knowing that you have nothing, no knowledge of what we recorded today. So it's interesting. We talk about habits. They're so important. But again, according to the largest major study of social influence, 95% of our success or failure is determined by the people we surround ourselves with. So the people of the people we surround ourselves with majorly impact our life. So get this, to your point about gaining weight, losing weight, whatever. One study showed, and they studied everything. They have massive amounts of data. They showed that if you have a friend who is overweight, your likelihood of becoming overweight increases by 45%.
Wow.
Doesn't stop there. If you have a friend of a friend, and you don't know that friend of a friend, if they are obese, you have let me see if I can pull up these numbers perfectly here for you. You have a 20% chance of gaining weight.
Just having a friend of a friend.
In the next 2 to 4 years, you're 45% more likely to gain weight, or 20% if it's a friend of a friend. It gets even crazier. You have a friend of a friend of a friend, and you don't know the friend of a friend or the friend of a friend of a friend. But you have a 10% more likely chance that you will start to gain weight. That's the power of social influence in the circles we run with. Crazy.
Mm.
So
did you gain weight when I joined 5 Star?
Oh, that's funny. I didn't. So,
well, you're supreme motivated. So
this is the beauty, as when you surround yourself with other people, they will pull you up, right, at a certain point. And that's what happened to you for the first year and a half. Mm-hmm. And then you had,
I've maintained, by the way.
And then you had your next child.
Yep.
And what happened was you went back to, it changed, right?
Well, it's what's convenient, what's easy, what can just get us through the day.
Yeah, you're trying to survive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So this begins to, again, now we get back to habits we talked about. Habits are very important. But then it gets back to being madly intentional with who you're surrounding yourself with, what decisions you're making. So get this. It goes on. If a friend, one of your friends smokes, you're 61% more likely to smoke.
Wow.
If a friend of your friend smokes, you're 29% more likely to smoke. And if a friend of a friend of a friend smokes, you're 11% more likely to smoke. Mm. Again, what research is just driving home is the people that we surround ourselves with have a massive influence on our success or failure. And I know there's people listening that are saying, there's no way. I'm the captain of my own ship. Well, yes, you are. But to say that the people you surround yourself with don't influence you is not true. Here's the exception. When you have a clear vision and you you are choosing to volunteer, to give back, to help others that are in a different position. That's a different, that's not what this research is referring to, right? Mm-hmm. So to radically unfriend all the people because they're too fat or they smoke too much or they drink too much, whatever. That is not what I'm suggesting. That is not the point of this lesson to kids. We're not saying unfriend all these people.
Yep.
What we're saying is take a step back and evaluate who you're surrounding yourself with because they are influencing you.
Yeah.
But just because they smoke doesn't mean they're not a good influence in their life.
Sure.
Just because they're a little overweight doesn't mean they're not a good influence in their life.
Sure.
But take stock and think about where you want to go. And then, Brae, like if you want to lose weight, spend a little more time, get a gym membership. Being a part of that network, guess what? You're going to lose weight.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
There's some details in that data that play out that it's just, you gravitate, you don't unfriend people. You just gravitate and spend a little more time with some people that are on that track.
Yeah. And ultimately it comes down to how bad do you want it to, right? And look, I told my wife, I was like, hey, I want to start waking up at 5 a.m. and going on a 2-mile run through my neighborhood. Just do something, right? And then do 50 push-ups before I get in the shower, whatever it is. Well, I wanted to do that today. Well, last night my daughter was up 3 times and I just couldn't get myself to wake up at 5 a.m. So it's like, it seems like there's always something, right? Which is not the excuse, but it just means, like, I feel like I can tell myself and be real with myself. And so I just didn't want it that day,
Yeah.
And it's not okay. It doesn't make it, yeah.
Two suggestions.
Yeah.
One, do your workout during Survivor. Do you stream it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there's no commercials?
No.
Oh, okay. Shoot. If you're watching TV, I always tell people, like, don't stop watching TV just during the commercial break. Get down and give me 25.
Yeah.
And then flip over and give me 25 sit-ups.
Yeah.
And then the show's back on. There's some little hacks that you don't have to be a crazy, insane workoutaholic. You can do some things very simply.
You can figure it out.
This message is going to change someone's life. There's some of you that are you're going to break through, but part of your breakthrough is you have people in your life that are, I'm not just talking about people that are toxic or negative, but there's people that you need to break through to. You need to start to gravitate towards some people and start filtering out people that maybe are not helping you in that area of your life. Again, go to 5starlife.org to learn more, to donate, to get involved, and listen to this show and share it with a friend anywhere podcasts are listened to. We are out of time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Brae, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. At 5-Star Life, we are changing the face of culture through education and sports by changing the most important piece of a human being's life, their mindset. If you are interested in being a part of our journey, please visit 5starlife.org for more information on volunteer and donation opportunities.